this video with you today because it's all about Paperwhites. The white flowers you see growing all around the holiday season. They have long shoots and they send up little tiny white flowers that look like white daffodils. Growing up, they were always in my house around Christmas time, and they have to be started by bulb about 6 to 10 weeks before you want them to bloom. So as soon as I saw them go into pots, I knew that Christmas was coming, and you all know that's my favorite time of year, so it was just a signal of the season starting, and I'm excited because I find myself at that point right now. I have a holiday party planned for the early part of December, so that means it's time to get my Paperwhite bulbs going. So I'm going to share with you today where I got them, how to plant them, what I'm using to plant them in, all that sort of good stuff, and I hope that you find yourself wanting to plant some Paperwhite bulbs too and start the holiday season off with me. As I mentioned before, Paperwhites are started from bulbs. The bulbs look something like this. I got these at my local nursery. They were 99 cents each. I also bought a package of bulbs. They came in a box with a planter and dirt, and those ended up being $2 each. A total rip, so do kind of shop around. You should be able to get them for about 99 cents. These are a really good size compared to the bulbs that I got in the box. You'll see these look really, really healthy compared to these, which they're not unhealthy, they're just smaller, and I want healthy bulbs to start. You'll also see that the bulbs I selected all have 2 shoots coming out of them, and that just means they're going to have more flowers. So I have here a bowl full of the healthiest bulbs I could find, all with the multiple stems, so I hope to produce a lot of these really beautiful white flowers. So you'll need bulbs, about 99 cents from your local nursery. You might even be able to find them in your grocery store. Again, they might be the boxed bulbs, so they might not be quite as healthy, but if you have time to make it to a nursery, it's definitely worth the trip. The other thing you'll need is a bag of aquarium rocks. These are the rocks that are meant to go in the bottom of aquariums. As you remember from being a kid, they come in every color you can imagine, neon green, pink, black, whatever. I purchased my 25-pound bag at Walmart, and I went for the natural color stones because that's what suits my decor best. Maybe you have a more modern house and you want the black stones. That would also look amazing, especially with the white balloons. But for me, I went with the bag of natural colored rock. It was $11.37 for the 25-pound bag, which I ended up splitting with my mom because it was more stone than I could ever use. So it really does go a long way. You don't need much. And the last most important thing you're going to need is some sort of container for your Paperwhites. Now I got this guy started last week. This is an old antique compote that my mom gifted me. It's really beautiful and it holds 3 Paperwhite bulbs. I don't want to tip it because it is full of water, but hopefully you can see in there. Anytime you're using an antique bowl or container, you'll want to make sure it's watertight. I have selected a few here that I'm going to use, and I filled them with water and let them sit on the counter for about 15 minutes to make sure that no water was leaking out, because Paperwhite bulbs are basically resting in that gravel I just showed you and water, and that's it. So it really does have to be airtight. You don't want to clean up a mess. You don't want your bulbs to lose water. So just do that little test before you start. Today I'm going to be planting my Paperwhite bulbs in a variety of antique containers I found along the way. Some of them I bought specifically for Paperwhites, like the container my mom bought for me, and some I've just collected and know that they're going to make awesome containers now. I'm going to share those with you. The first thing is this really sweet pewter pitcher. It has a monogrammed S on it. It's watertight and it's perfect for one single bulb. I did measure it, kind of rested a bulb in there to make sure it'll work. It does fall in, so that's perfect, but this wouldn't work for more than one bulb. I also have another pewter dish. It's fancy scallop. It's really beautiful. Again, I'm going to put one bulb in here, but it'll be really charming. And then I also have these two guys. I didn't buy them with the intentions of them being flower containers. Like I said, I just had them, and you'd be surprised at all the things you might have around your house that will work. This is a flower and an allspice ceramic container. I have these guys. This guy is big enough that I think I can put 2 Paperwhites in them. this guy will just be 1 again. So not only can you use the vintage antique containers that you might find laying around or at an antique store, you can also create your own. And this whole video got started by an image I found on Pinterest, which I'll link below, where the crafter used an old like a vegetable or fruit tin from the grocery store, covered it with fabric, and then grew their Paperwhite bulbs in there. And I have actually done the same thing, except I decided to use paper rather than fabric because I love antique ephemera. So what I did was use 3 food cans that were of different sizes and proportions so that there's some variety, yet they all still look like they go together. And I used 3 different pieces of ephemera. I used music sheet, I used ledger paper, and then I combined both of them in this one and embellished it with an antique piece of tinsel and a reproduction antique pipe cleaner candy cane. So you can get really creative with this. You know, the sky's the limit. It just has to be a container that holds water. So maybe this inspires you. It's so inexpensive and so attractive. These will go all grouped together. They'll each have 1 Paperwhite in them because they are rather small, but sitting together they look like they're meant to be together. And I'm happy to announce that this is also a giveaway video, which means that while I've been creating all my own containers for my Paperwhite bulbs, I've also created one for you. One lucky winner who follows me on YouTube and leaves a comment in the description of either my YouTube or my blog will be chosen in 1 week's time, and you will win your very own Paperwhite container that I created. It is a food tin that I covered with this pinkish gold scrunchy fabric and embellished with ribbon and antique tinsel. I thought it needed something, so I also added a pair of reproduction mercury glass Christmas ornaments dangling from the front. So as you can see, you can get really creative, go as far as you want with your containers, but I thought this was a really nice kind of neutral holiday festive container. The winner will also receive all the rocks that is necessary to grow your Paperwhite bulb, as well as 1 really healthy Paperwhite bulb. So please do enter. You'll see all the details below, and I'm excited to share this with one of you and hope that you can get your holiday season started early too. So the last couple things I want to point out are little tips and pieces of advice for once you've planted your Paperwhite bulbs. Paperwhite bulbs send off really long, intense, strong tendrils. You'll see that this bulb is starting to sprout its roots, so it's really important that they have a lot of space to send those roots out. This container, I think, is pushing it with the amount of space the roots will have, but I'm going to give it a go. I think it's really cute and hopefully it'll work. Again, that's why I'm only putting 1 Paperwhite bulb in this container. But as they start to grow upward, they'll become top heavy. So it might become necessary as your Paperwhite bulbs get larger and taller to tie them together or to put maybe a dowel rod or some sort of support system with its stems, just so that they're not falling over. And like with any other flower, they grow towards the sun, so it will be necessary to rotate your planter maybe daily, every other day, just to keep your stems growing nice, straight, and evenly upward. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I wish you the best of luck with your Paperwhite planting. I'm off to plant mine.